My story really began back when I was 16. I went to Germany as an exchange student, and for the first time I was away from my family and had to make all my life decisions.
Though Donna enjoyed her time in Germany, she often found herself going through emotional difficulty. Frequent emotional lows became part of her life for the first time she could remember, and eventually she decided to cut her trip short. As time went on, she had similar episodes, but found that she could manage them as her life continued through college, marriage, and as she had her first 4 children. But after the birth of her 5th child, the emotional stress became much more difficult. Even so, managing as she always did, she began to feel like herself again until she became pregnant with her last child.
I always tell people I could tell the day that I conceived with her because the entire pregnancy was very difficult.
The toll that this pregnancy took on her emotional health brought her to the point of feeling hopeless. She decided to consult her doctor and was told that her state was as bad as it gets. But she kept thinking that, like in the past, in time, it would get better.
There were times where I was very hopeless, and times where I worried about harming myself or my children.
Donna's understanding of the power and efficacy of natural supplements made her wary about looking to medications to solve her issues. But something had to be done right now. So she made the choice to get a prescription from her doctor, and things started to change.
I felt just calm and peaceful, and I remember one time standing at the kitchen sink, just looking outside thinking, I forgot what it felt like to be happy, and I forgot what it felt like to have peace in my life. And so I was so thankful at that moment that I had made that decision, because for me at that moment it was right.
But unfortunately for Donna, these feelings of peace and happiness ended up being more short-lived than she'd hoped.
And after about a year, it stopped really working. I had my symptoms coming back. I was struggling more days than not.
After repeated visits with her doctor, who increased her dose several times, Donna decided that this was not her long-term solution. It was at this time that her husband Greg had a friend tell him about her experience with a very similar health challenge. She had found help in a set of herbal supplements containing Chinese herbs. Greg immediately shared the experience with Donna, and she decided to add the supplements to her daily regimen. Even though this decision resulted in her taking 30 to 60 capsules a day, she felt it was worth it and began to feel significant relief. Then, after consulting with her doctor once again, she decided to back down her prescription bit by bit. This went on for several months, until she and Greg went on a cruise and she forgot to pack her prescription, though she remembered the supplements.
Yeah, I got left behind, and so we went on the trip and I didn't have it anymore. And so we were on the trip for a week and I got through it okay. And when I came back, I realized I don't need to back off anymore. I'm done, I'm off it.
Inspired by Donna's journey and her success, Greg began to look more deeply into the herbs contained in the supplements that provided the turning point for Donna, in the hope of finding additional options and answers for her and others similarly struggling.
One of the very first things I looked at was why things had changed when Donna had started using these particular forms and added them to her nutrition. And that led to the realization that most of those formulas actually had adaptogenic herbs. That led to investigating what adaptogenic herbs are, what makes them different.
Greg began to develop a philosophy that would later become the foundation for a new company called Soul Naturals. Adaptogen-based, concentrated supplements can be used to provide a higher level of wellness for people because they include nutrition for both the body and the mind, and bring benefits to both physical and emotional well-being.
So I asked him if there was any way that he could make a product that I could take and just take one product instead of this whole slew of products.
The result was Soul Naturals' first formula, Adaptable, a product made first for Donna, but also made for anyone else looking for answers in emotional and physical wellness.
If my story can help others, then it's worth it. and it's worth sharing, and it's worth other people telling other people what their experiences are, because I think we're in this to help each other.